What's going on, and welcome to Buckets in the North, Episode 3. I am your host, JT. Over the weekend, the Toronto Raptors beat the Utah Jazz on Friday, and then they had suffered a tight loss to the Trailblazers on Sunday. The Raptors have been a part of an active tank, signing and playing a ton of two-way players and rookies and guys on 10-day contracts. The only problem the Raptors have seemed to have is that during this rebuild, during this tank, the players on the team don't actually want to lose. Starters, bench guys, or players with those 10-day contracts, it does not seem to matter. They've won 6 of their last 8 games, and on March 10th, they played the Wizards and set a franchise record of 73 rebounds in a regulation game. And since mid-January, they have the number 1 defense rating in all of the NBA. The Jazz and the Pelicans are actually already mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. And just like the Toronto Raptors, there's been a huge problem with tanking teams not playing their star players. They're not putting them into the key moments in the game, or they're just not playing them at all. In fact, the NBA just fined the Utah Jazz $100,000 for not playing Lauri Markkanen during games where they thought he was eligible to play. It's just clear tanking, and nobody likes to see it. Now, listen, I'm happy that the Raptors could look at their roster and decide that a rebuild is the best way to go for the future and then go out and execute on that plan. But I hate watching my team lose. And it's even worse if they're actively trying to lose by sitting their best players, by not playing them at the end of the last 2 minutes of the game or during key moments to be able to get that win. And listen, I am going to the Toronto Raptors Portland Trailblazers game in April. And if RJ Barrett and Scotty Barnes are not on that court, I'm going to lose it. And listen, you can really tell that the players hate it too. It doesn't matter if you're LeBron James or if you're a guy just coming up from the G League. In order to make the NBA, you have to be a phenomenal player. And in order to get to that level, you have to have a super competitive drive. You have to really want to win. You have to really want to be the best out there in order to get to the NBA, because they really are the best out there. Instead of handing out hefty fines to teams that are obviously trying their best to lose, could we find a way to reward the teams that are at the bottom for winning? I think that we should find a way to change the way the draft lottery chances are selected. Let's say we play the season as normal, and then we pick a cutoff date. Whatever works the best. It could be the trade deadline. It could be the All-Star weekend, whenever every single team in the league has 20 games left, or once you've been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Once we cross that deadline, if the season were to end that day and your team isn't a part of the playoff picture, then the new draft lottery season starts. And it's kind of a season within the regular season. A new set of standings will be drawn up from the teams all the way from the ninth place seed to the very bottom. And then the team with the most wins, or the highest win percentage at the end, then gets the best percentage for the draft lottery instead of the very worst guy at the end of the season. There may be some complications having a mini season inside a season, movement from the 8th place seed down to the ninth place seed or anything like that. We just use the cutoff game record as their record moving forward into the draft lottery season. So if the 8th place team slides down into the ninth place team, they are automatically entered into the draft lottery season. And whether it's from the 20 games remaining or whenever they're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, however it works, that is their new season. This way, all the NBA teams have something to play for, even if they've already been eliminated from the playoffs, and even if it doesn't look like they're going to make it. And this should really put pressure on GMs at the bottom of the standings to actively try and fix things, because then the teams at the bottom are not getting the best draft pick. It should also increase fan attendance for home games. When you go to the games, you want to have something to cheer for. You don't want to go out there and cheer for your team to lose a game to be able to be better in the draft lottery. It's crazy talk. If you want a guy like Cooper Flag in the first draft pick, then you better play well after that cutoff date. So what do you guys think? Should we change up the way that the draft lottery percentages are calculated? Should we reward winning instead of losing at the bottom of the standings? Let me know.